What's up? This is YeahBuoy. After over a month of no videos, I am back and I'm ready to show you guys some awesome content. So, I uploaded a 2.5 minute video without voice on Friday morning because I wanted to get the preview out there for this video ASAP. This is a 30-minute guide on masterfully baiting and dodging torpedoes in World of Warships Blitz. I heard some of your concerns yesterday, so don't worry, I've got you covered. Here in a second, I'm going to spot a Tier 8 Russian destroyer on my left. What you need to know is that Tier 8 Russian destroyers have short-range torpedoes. They reach only 4.5 kilometers, so I don't need to start dodging yet. Instead, I'm going to use my current position as the bait and start dodging his torpedoes when he comes in to launch them. Now, he's actually going to target my teammate, but since I don't know who he's going to target ahead of time, I'm going to prepare to dodge his torpedoes anyways. I'm putting my ship in reverse and turning to become parallel with his torpedo path.
Torpedoes! We're under attack!
There's going to be a benzin that pops up next to this North Carolina when he gets on the other side of the island. I want you to pay attention to how I handle this benzin, so that I can focus on other targets and not have to worry about him. I'm gonna fire my secondaries at this other North Carolina while I wait for my main target to reach my line of sight again. Even though it doesn't do much damage, damage is damage, and you want as much as possible. Here's the benzin. Since his ship is broadside, he's ready to launch his torpedoes, so I'm gonna immediately use my current position as the bait and change my path by putting my ship into reverse and turning to the right. Now I can focus on more vulnerable targets and not worry about the benzin whatsoever. I don't even have to look at him because I trust my bait. You have to trust your bait, guys. Trust the bait. Trust the bait. Trust the bait.
We're hit! Enemy torpedo spotted! We're under attack! Enemy team captured the area. Precise aim activated.
Notice how I target this North Carolina? I place my crosshairs behind him.
Enemy heavily damaged.
That's because he's in reverse. It's hard to tell, but he is in reverse, so you want to place your crosshairs behind the target like that, but just barely. Now see that benzin? He's showing broadside, so he might be launching torpedoes, but look at my speed. I'm actually speeding up still. I was only at probably not even half speed. So if he was aiming at me, unless he had some predictive firing going on, those torpedoes would miss by the time they get to whatever path he had.
Target penetrated.
Now this next dodge just might be my favorite dodge of all time. I'm gonna add some commentary of what he was saying and then what I was saying in real time. This is what he said.
YeahBuoy, I got news for you. You ain't gonna float much longer. You hear? I got you now.
And I said, not today. Yeah, baby.
We're under attack!
Now, unfortunately, my dominance is about to come to an end because these two enemies have torpedoes on both sides of their ships. I start moving forward again to dodge these York's torpedoes. Unfortunately, there's not enough room. I don't have fast enough acceleration to dodge all of them, but I think I miss at least 2 of them. I think 4 just hit me, and now he U-turned, and now I'm gonna get another 6. Nothing I can do here. But hey, I'm pretty satisfied with this battle. Did 92,000 damage. That's pretty awesome. We win this match, and I got some awesome footage for you guys. Now let's move on to my other clips. I have so many to show y'all. I think I have like 16 clips, and they're not all full matches. But I did give enough spare time before the torpedo dodges to give you guys a good feel for what was going on. We got this destroyer here. I am in, I think, a Congo, and I'm reversing here because I want this guy to come around the island just enough so that I can fire my main guns. But now I'm moving forward again. And unfortunately, my main guns weren't able to keep up. They weren't able to traverse as fast as that guy was coming. So yeah, I'm switching to HE rounds, and now I'm gonna set up the bait. I'm gonna show him the left side of my nose. I decided to turn left here. Look, I'm turning left. And now he should have a good path, so I'm gonna start turning to the right now. I gave him the path that he needed, and now I'm turning to the right. Notice that I turned to the right a little bit ahead of time, and I tapped it a little bit, just so that my rudder was prepared, but I wasn't turning too fast. You have to remember that it takes a second for your rudder to like kick in and actually start turning your ship. So you do need to hit that rudder a little bit ahead of time, and that's what I was doing there.
Enemy torpedo spotted.
Now this match was, I think, 2 days ago, so I'm pretty glad that I got this in this video. There's a Shimakaze at B, and I haven't seen him yet, but right when I see him, I start slowing down and turning to the left because he's showing broadside. When I saw his broadside, that told me right away that he was launching those torpedoes. Remember, you have to dodge them ahead of time. You can't wait until you see them to start dodging them. Now notice only 2 sets came my way. That means he has 1 more set. You need to know your enemies so that you know what they're packing, what they're capable of. He has 1 more set. That's why he's showing his broadside, because he wants to get a good shot on me. Now I'm gonna weave left and right with him. I am weaving opposite of him, so I'm giving him a good path right here. But then I'm gonna start weaving to the left to take away that path that I just gave him. And so on. You wanna make it really hard for them to get a good shot on you, or if you do give them a good shot with some bait, make sure you go the other way. Make sure you bait the right way at the right time. So there's a Benzin behind this island, and I knew he was out of torpedoes, and I also knew that he was somewhere behind this island, but I wanted to take a peek just to see where he was. Now I see that he's going to the other side of the island, so I'm gonna U-turn and go that way too to meet him on the other side, and in the process I'm gonna set some really good bait for him. What I'm going to do is sail in one direction and get to that direction before he spots me. That way, from his point of view, he sees me sailing in one direction and I'm not turning at all. And I'm gonna give him a few seconds to see me. Now I'm detected. I'm gonna give him a few seconds to launch those torpedoes. He should see that I'm not turning. And now I'm gonna turn. He should have had enough time to launch those torpedoes. With this kind of distance, you really don't need to slow down and turn to the right. You just need to turn to the right. And this is how it's done. Now, I'm not going to show the rest of this clip because I misjudged the amount of time it was going to take for his torpedoes to reload behind that rock the second time. And so I actually got torpedoed at point blank. So make sure that if you're going to be aggressive like I was, make sure that you time it correctly, that you're not misjudging how long it's going to take their torpedoes to reload. Right here, I'm setting bait by turning to the left, and now I'm turning forward and going toward him to become parallel with his torpedo path. By becoming parallel with their torpedoes, you're either going to dodge all of them or you're going to mitigate a lot of damage. Now I do leave my smoke right here because I want to be as aggressive as possible to get this Shimakaze before he's out of detection range. They have a really low detection range, so that's why I need to get as many shots off as I can to get this guy before he's too far away. In this match, there's 2 destroyers. Here on the right is going to be a German destroyer. He has a very quick reload time. He's going to come around to the other side of the island, and I'm expecting torpedoes to come that way up the path between the middle island and this right island. So what I'm going to do is just do a U-turn. He's going to see me sailing that way. He's going to send those torpedoes my direction, but I'm doing a U-turn to dodge them ahead of time. And since that Benzin's over there, you definitely don't want to keep sailing that direction. Look, he's just sitting there because he's waiting to get a good shot off. If he had already got his shot, he wouldn't be reversing where he is. Now notice he stopped, so I thought he was going to start moving forward, but he didn't. he stopped and then reversed again. If he did that intentionally to bait my shot, that was phenomenal. And notice that I dodged that German destroyer's torpedoes. He sent them exactly where I predicted. So I'm gonna let my main guns traverse to the other side of my ship, the left side of my ship. Now look, that German destroyer is starting to move. He's coming out from behind the island. I'm actually gonna watch my turning. I'm gonna turn to the right a little bit because I was thinking about setting up some better bait, but then I realized, nope, he's already fired them. I don't have time to set up better bait, just start turning to the left.
We're under attack. Enemy torpedoes spotted.
Now, had I slowed down and turned to the left, I probably would have dodged all of them. I didn't slow down. I didn't keep my ship in reverse and turn left. So that's why I got hit by 2. If I had to do that again, I would have slowed down and turned to the left. And of course, I wouldn't have tried for a moment to set better bait. I just would have immediately used my current position as the bait. Stay in reverse and turn to the left. That would have been a little better. This is a situation that a lot of you guys are going to find yourselves in because this happens a lot. Destroyers come in, launch their torpedoes, and then leave. Once they're reloaded, they come back in. Now watch, I'm going to start turning to the left before I see this destroyer's torpedoes. I'm turning to the left. I was going to set some bait. I'm going to slow down and then start turning to the right. But that was before I saw that he launched his torpedoes at my teammate. So now I'm just going to stay in the bait position. I don't need to get out of it because he doesn't have torpedoes.
Fast reload activated.
And since I am in a cruiser, it is my job to target this Benson. So I want you to watch what happens next. He's U-turning because his torpedoes are about to be reloaded. And by the time he gets to me, they actually are ready.
Our team captured.
And so I'm being very aggressive right here. I'm planning on baiting him again. Now that he's broadside, I'm slowing down. I was hoping that he had already launched them, but he didn't. So I'm slowing down. I'm going to start reversing. But he knows that I'm reversing, and he hadn't launched them yet, so now I'm in a really bad situation. I do get smacked by a few of them, but notice that I'm trying to be parallel with his torpedo path. I could have done this a lot better, but notice that I'm still alive, and watch what happens next. He disappeared behind the island. I don't need to sail away. I am safe because his torpedoes were just launched. So he has about a minute, just under a minute before he has his next torpedoes ready. So I'm just gonna go take a peek behind this island and hopefully interrupt his coffee break. There he is, he's off getting coffee, just chilling. Oh, yep, there I am. Hello, hello, how are you doing? He probably didn't expect that, guys. He had just smacked me with a ton of torpedoes. We were both low health, but he probably didn't expect that I was gonna come after him. That's why he had that coffee break. Now guys, remember, cruisers are destroyer hunters. Destroyers hunt battleships, battleships hunt cruisers, and cruisers hunt destroyers. That's the game.
Nice shot. Enemy torpedo spotted. Target hit.
So I just started moving forward. I was in reverse, but I'm moving forward now, so if another set of torpedoes comes my way, hopefully he will launch them in the middle of my acceleration, which will make his path off. They're not gonna land.
Torpedoes.
That's what happened.
Target hit.
He launched them in the middle of my acceleration,
Hit the enemy.
so they didn't hit their mark. So that's how you use acceleration as bait too. You can actually bait with your acceleration, but you have to know exactly when they're gonna have a really good shot on you, so you know like when they might be launching those torpedoes, and you have to hope that they do launch them once you give them that shot. This is one of my favorite clips also. This was in my How to Dodge Torpedoes Like a Boss video. But this is unseen footage right here because this part right here happened before the section that's in my Like a Boss clip.
Good job. We're hit.
So ideally, you don't want to be perfectly broadside like this, but look at my minimap, there's a destroyer headed my way, and I knew there was a destroyer over at B. So that's why I'm trying to stay parallel with that destroyer's torpedo path, but I did need to keep an eye on him, and now I'm watching him because he's getting too close. But I didn't want a wall of torpedoes heading over to C and then smacking me, so that's why I stayed broadside with that battleship. Now I'm gonna bait this destroyer. I'm gonna show him my tail. And now I'm gonna start moving forward, because it's gonna take me a second to accelerate. So I'm moving forward ahead of time before he started turning to launch them. And he fell for it. That's how it is. This was another example of using acceleration as bait, just like the last clip. So right here, I'm in a Minotaur, a tier 10 British cruiser. I'm gonna bait the torpedoes from this Neptune.
Target hit.
The Neptune is the tier 9 British cruiser.
Target penetrated.
And fun fact, I've heard of a few people that like the Neptune more than the Minotaur. I haven't played the Neptune, so I can't vouch for it, but...
Enemy team captured the area.
And I'm back. So yeah, what I'm doing is sending a few torpedoes ahead of his path and a few behind. That way if he keeps accelerating, the ones in front hit, and if he starts reversing or turning to the left, hopefully the ones behind hit. And I'm reversing too.
Torpedo spotted.
I did start moving forward again for a second, but then I kept reversing. Because it took so long to detect his torpedoes, I actually thought maybe he didn't fire them.
Enemy ship.
But yeah, it just took a few seconds longer to detect them. So there's two destroyers on the right. They're going behind the island. I'm showing you two salvos ahead of time so you get a feel for the battle, a feel for what it's like to actually be in this situation.
We hit the enemy.
Here's the Mahan. You'll see the Bins in here in a second. Mahan is turning broadside. You might expect him to be firing those torpedoes because he's broadside. Benzin's gonna turn broadside too. I'm gonna get one round off on the Mahan. Switch over to HE rounds because that's optimal for battleship versus destroyer.
Target hit.
Benzin's going broadside. I'm gonna do a U-turn. I don't want to be anywhere over here where my path was. I'm gonna do a slow motion right here because I barely caught the torpedoes on my video feed. Slow-mo right here. There's those torpedoes headed directly to where my path was. So that's the value of a U-turn. And as always, predict them ahead of time. Now this is the same match, I just skipped forward a little bit because I'm not actually gonna dodge any torpedoes here. I just wanted to show my team getting a double strike, and not only my team, but it's me and my fleet mate, YeahBuoy. YeahBuoy and YeahBuoy. And this is the last guy. Same match, just the last guy. I like this shot, so that's why I included it.
We destroyed an enemy ship.
This is another match showing the value of a U-turn. We got a Mogami here, and then we're gonna have a Mahan pull in. Mogami's a Japanese cruiser. It's very powerful, but it's also fragile.
Enemy torpedo spotted.
What you need to know about a Mogami is that his torpedoes are at the rear of the ship.
Enemy.
He cannot fire torpedoes from the front of his ship, so he has to either be perfectly broadside with you or sailing away from you to fire those torpedoes. So that's why I'm just preparing to U-turn, especially now there's a Mahan on my right. I'm just gonna ignore the Mahan, get one more salvo off on the Scharnhorst, then complete my U-turn and go the other way. You do not want to be way out here on the side of the map near the wall. The fact that me and my team are way over here, this far out, away from the middle of the map, is like a 1 in 100 or less chance of happening again. I mean, this was a very rare circumstance where we're this far out. Because if there's an enemy anywhere near the middle of the map, they can just sail right on by and go into your base. And I think this particular match was actually from last year, shortly after this map got released. So you are seeing some bugs, like the way that YeahBuoy's ship was turning. This clip right here, I'm in a Nuremberg, I believe, and this is, or maybe I'm in a Königsberg. It's either, I'm either in a Königsberg or a Nuremberg, and this clip was just a few weeks ago. So once I'm in the cap, I'm reversing. I used my path as the bait, and he took it. Very simple way to bait torpedoes and dodge them. A lot of times, a good rule of thumb is just to start reversing once you get in the cap. You want to be in the cap so that at least you're capping while you're baiting. I'm in a very bad position right here, though. Look at all the enemy they have. If they all targeted me, I would get sunk so fast. It'd be like one salvo from each of them, and I'd be done. So notice this Benzin that was on my left. I'm reversing and just trying to stay parallel with his torpedo path. Notice that I'm setting up the bait that I pulled on the Kagero from earlier, only this Benzin doesn't take it. I'm showing him my rear, now I'm moving forward. This is the bait that the Kagero took. This guy doesn't take it, so instead I'm just gonna keep going in reverse and stay parallel with his path. 4 of the 10 torpedoes hit. That means that being parallel mitigated 60% of his damage. Now I'm actually wondering why I'm still alive. All the enemy that were targeting me earlier stopped targeting me, and I'm wondering why, because if they were all coordinated and targeting the same targets, I would have been sunk a long time ago.
Defend area C.
So y'all saw this clip at the end of my How to Dodge Torpedoes Like a Boss video. I love doing that. I love adding the dramatic boss whenever I say boss. Whenever you say boss, you have to say it like boss. Otherwise, it's not boss. So yeah, keep your ship in reverse in a situation like this. You want to be parallel with their torpedo path. This is the same technique I taught in my other videos. One was how to dodge torps like a champ, and of course the other one was how to dodge torps like a BOSS. Right here, I am in an Ibuki. Very rare footage, guys.
Enemy aircraft incoming.
This is an exotic creature for me. This ship that I'm in. I don't sail with her very often. At least not anymore. I really didn't enjoy grinding through the Ibuki to get up to the Zao because the Ibuki is really underpowered against tier 10 ships. And usually when you're in a tier 9 ship, you get tier 10 ships in the same match as you. Now the Ibuki is overpowered against tier 8 ships, but it's very underpowered against tier 10 ships. Notice the way I'm handling that destroyer on my right. I'm weaving. I'm setting bait right now, then I'm turning the other direction. And he fell for the bait.
Target hit.
I'm just doing the weaving maneuver. I've taught this as well. And you even saw this earlier. Look, he fell for that weave. It was a second weave right there that he fell for. Just weave back and forth, back and forth. They'll probably fall for one of them. Now I'm actually not going to skip forward here at all. I'm going to show you the rest of this match because I love the ending. It was very clutch. I'm gonna go find this destroyer. Remember, I'm in a cruiser. I am a destroyer hunter. So since you don't know where they are, what you want to do is basically do a perimeter check. He's either going to the corner of the map or he's going toward his teammates. He's definitely not going to sail by me on the right.
Team is about to win.
So look, I see the edge of the map. And I want to be just close enough to the edge of the map to where he can't sneak by on my right side. I'm gonna head toward the corner of the map, but guys, when you're in this situation, make sure you weave. Don't sail in straight lines. There he is. So he was by the edge of the map. He may have been trying to go by on the right side.
The situation is under control.
Looked to me like once he saw that I was coming after him, he wasn't gonna have enough room to sneak by me on the right. So he stopped, hit the wall, and then turned left to keep going. Look at the clock. Watch the clock. We got 15 seconds left. This is beautiful. A beautiful ending. He is weaving so that I can't hit him. But it's not gonna work. Not today, buddy. Here we go. Oh, 1 second left. You almost got away. You almost did it. First you said yes, and then you said no. Not today, son. Not today. Guys, I'm really tired. I'm hoping that I finish up this video pretty soon. I've been working so hard in real life building this sound studio. This is the last clip. I'm in an aircraft carrier in my midway. There's 2 enemy left. I'm looking for the destroyer. I know he's somewhere, and there he is on the mini-map. I'm looking for him there. There's the gearing. I need to slow down, turn to the right, keep an eye on where his torpedo path is. Imagine that when you play destroyer, you know how the torpedo paths are. So I'm gonna turn to the right to dodge that torpedo path, become parallel with that torpedo path, mitigate that torpedo path.
Target. Destroyed an enemy ship.
Done,
Situation
son.
under control.
All done. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I worked hard on this, and I know I was gone for over a month, but I hope this makes up for it. 30 minutes of awesomeness. I am working on a new logo and a clothing company. I'm gonna sell you guys some merchandise, some awesome high quality t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and other goodies. I'll give you some more details once I have them. I'll catch you guys next time.